Right now, we are 30 minutes away from Meritor nurses going on strike, where the negotiations broke down.
Plus, it's almost summer. How stores in the Northwoods are preparing for the busy season. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Kyrie Lee.
I'm Chris Stanford. Thank you so much for joining us on a Tuesday that's going to feel like a Monday. Short work week.
Yes, a short work week, but hopefully everyone enjoyed their long weekend, got out and about.
Yeah.
I know we're going to have a couple, little choppy days, but there's better things ahead of that. So
There are. Let's check in with Savannah Brito. See what's going on in your first warn forecast live outside of our Madison studios. Good morning.
Good morning. We are going to see some chances for showers now, basically through early Thursday morning. Most of those spotty showers are just north of the city of Madison and a little bit more widespread northwest of here out near La Crosse and Viroqua. I think they'll be widespread for pretty much everyone across southern Wisconsin late tonight into early tomorrow morning as we head closer to daybreak. But temperatures, they're not bad. Most of us across Dane County and southern Wisconsin are waking up into the lower to even mid-50s out there. Couple areas are slightly cooler than that, but we're at 52 right now in Madison, and we'll climb close to 70. So temperatures will still at least be near normal, but we are going to see that rain pretty much continue through the day. We'll talk about when that will move out of here, and also the weekend ahead. We'll give a sneak peek of that Saturday and Sunday coming up in just a bit.
Savannah, thank you. This morning, about 1,000 nurses are set to walk off their job at Meritor Hospital. The strike could happen in as early as 30 minutes at 6:30.
Right. Their union and the hospital are at odds still after a last-minute meeting never happened. Meritor's Vice President of Human Resources tells News 3 Now that SEIU, the union, canceled the bargaining session scheduled for yesterday, but the union denies that. Nurses say the hospital's latest offer doesn't address their concerns about staffing, safety, or burnout. The hospital says it will remain fully operational during a strike. Hospital leadership says that they have contracted with travel nurses and that other members of the hospital's care teams will keep working. Though if you have an appointment this week at Meritor Hospitals, the hospital says to carve out some extra time for parking and entrance delays. The next day or two, parties will meet to negotiate. They'll need scheduled to meet again on the 29th this week. Ahead of the strike, SEIU will hold a news conference alongside state Democrats.
New this morning, police are investigating reports of gunfire that left 2 men injured. Officers responded to Kennedy Heights on Madison's northeast side. There, they found a 36-year-old man and a 28-year-old man, both with gunshot wounds. First responders treated one man at the scene. He did not require further medical attention. Paramedics took the other man to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police believe this was an isolated incident.
2 people are in custody after police say they discovered meth during a traffic stop. The Iowa County Sheriff's Office says a deputy stopped a Volkswagen because of suspended registration associated with some unpaid parking tickets. The sheriff reported suspicious behavior and then deployed a canine. The search turned up 7 ounces of drugs. 35-year-old Gaze Mill woman and a 50-year-old Juneau woman are in the Iowa County Jail.
In international news, a car plowed through a parade in England last night, abruptly ending the celebration. Crowds gathered to celebrate Liverpool FC's latest Premier League championship when the car drove into them. Witnesses say people swarmed the vehicle after it hit several attendees and smashed its windows. The driver accelerated again, struck more victims, and trapped some under the van.
I'm just in shock, we can't stop shaking. And when we've seen the footage now of people lying on the road, I feel I'm going to get choked up now. When you see that, it's just a shame to the end of a really, really positive day.
More than 45 people were hurt in total, including 4 children. Police arrested a 53-year-old British man at the scene. Officers described it as an isolated incident and said they are not treating it as terrorism. This is one of several car rammings around the world this year. On New Year's Day, a man drove into a crowd celebrating on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, killing 15 people.
King Charles is expected to attend the state opening of Canadian Parliament today. He's in Canada for his first official visit as head of state. Yesterday, he met with community groups in Ottawa and planted a ceremonial tree. The monarch's visit comes as President Donald Trump continues to reference his desire to make Canada the 51st state. The proposal is overwhelmingly unpopular amongst Canadians.
In health news, if you've noticed your allergies getting worse, there's a reason. Climate change is making allergy season longer and more severe. The Asthma and Allergy Foundation says the worst cities for allergy sufferers are Wichita, New Orleans, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Memphis. The good news, treatments for seasonal allergies have recently become more effective.
A reminder that everyone should be wearing sunscreen, even people with darker skin. There is a misconception that the melanin in darker skin offers enough protection against the sun, but dermatologists say melanin alone is not good enough. While Black and Hispanic people are less likely to get skin cancer, they're also more likely to die from it.
If you're traveling this summer, you'll likely need to use public Wi-Fi. But with cybersecurity threats on the rise, connecting to free Wi-Fi could put your personal information at risk. Internet security experts warn that hackers sometimes create fake networks that look legitimate but are designed to steal personal data. So how can you stay safe? Experts say when you connect, check that you're on a secure site by looking for HTTPS in the web address. Avoid logging into bank accounts or performing sensitive transactions on public Wi-Fi. Experts say the best option is to use your own hotspot.
This is the most secure and convenient way to go. Free and public Wi-Fi access points can be fraught with danger.
Experts warn that turning your phone into a hotspot can drain its battery faster and may lead to high roaming charges, especially overseas. But if you can afford it, buying your own personal hotspot is the safest option for travel.
Planning for that summer barbecue, some summer food staples might be a little pricier because of the tariffs. In April, President Trump put a 25% tariff on imported aluminum and steel. That includes empty aluminum cans and imported canned beer. U.S.-based brewers are feeling the cost pressure, and it could be transferred onto you. You may also see higher prices for things like fireworks that you buy along the roadside.
But if you're looking to take a trip this summer, you can score some sizzling deals. Of course, that's if you're willing to brave the heat. Travel expert Emily Kaufman says you can find cheaper vacations in places like Florida or Arizona this summer. Kaufman also says bundling your flight and hotels can help you save money. Sites like Booking.com or Expedia have price trackers that can alert you when the prices drop. Plus, it's not too late to book an overseas vacation this summer.
For people who are going long distances, they're scoring deals by season swapping. They're going to Australia where it's fall right now. There are beautiful beaches in Japan. We are getting towards the rainy season, but there are good deals to be had.
She says beach destinations like Aruba, the Dominican Republic, and Costa Rica are also much cheaper this time of year.
Back home in Wisconsin, shops in the Minocqua area are getting ready for a busy summer season, and they're ready to welcome travelers from near and far. Dan's Minocqua Fudge has been in downtown Minocqua since 1967. They added their second location just this year. The manager says this Memorial Day weekend is busier than years past, with their downtown location having record sales. He says tourists started arriving last Wednesday, but it wasn't until the weekend when things got busy. Family-owned clothing store Glick's also saw a lot of customers.
It's going to be an extremely busy summer. Last summer was by far our busiest summer.
We actually had about 4,000 people visit us over this weekend, and this is just a kickoff. This is kind of what we expect every weekend going into summer.
Our summer is like our Super Bowl, our Christmas.
We're starting out busier than last year, and I just think it's going to keep going that way.
The cooler weather over Memorial Day weekend also helped bring more customers downtown. Just last week, the city did pause some road construction to make it easier for those tourists to get around.
And you say it's very beautiful up this way.
Oh gosh, it is. It is often described as God's country up there. It's I jest, but it's gorgeous. The tall pines, the open water, the weather this time of year. It's just so comfortable. It's definitely worth the trip.
All right, I just keep adding things to the list for the summer.
You'll get to it eventually.
Yes, I'll get there.
Don't forget.
Plenty of time, Let's check in with Savannah.
Tracking scattered showers later this afternoon. We'll talk about how long those could stick around for southern Wisconsin.
And ahead in your morning sports, the Mallards back in action. See what brand new debut has fans talking and drinking.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Welcome back. Music's biggest stars turned out for the 51st American Music Awards last night in Las Vegas.
And while big awards were definitely handed out, the live performances took center stage. CBS News correspondent Andres Gutierrez has the highlights.
Billie Eilish won all 7 American Music Awards she was nominated for, including the big prize, Artist of the Year.
Artist of the Year. This is so crazy. I feel speechless.
SZA took home 2 awards, Favorite Female R&B Artist and Favorite R&B Song.
Thank you to all the fans that voted for me. I love you so much, just as much as you love me, probably more. You have no idea. Thank you. God bless.
Fans voted Becky G Favorite Female Latin Artist.
This award wouldn't be possible without those who came before us, and I know we share in our struggles as well as our wins. So this goes to you guys. Los quiero mucho. Besitos.
Host Jennifer Lopez kicked off the show with a song and dance medley of 23 songs by the show's various nominees. Benson Boone included his signature flip during his performance of Mystical Magical. Gloria Estefan treated fans to some of her biggest hits.
This year was the first time the American Music Awards were presented in Las Vegas, and it was a night many won't soon forget.
That's because Janet Jackson performed on live television for the first time in 7 years, before accepting her Icon Award for her 5 decades in the music industry.
The one thing that I hope for is that I've been an inspiration to others.
And Rod Stewart received the AMA Lifetime Achievement Award.
I had this burning ambition to sing. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to be rich or famous.
Then closed the show with his hit Forever Young on a night he will never forget. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Las Vegas.
Gracie Abrams won New Artist of the Year. Dan and Shay took home the trophy for Favorite Country Duo or Group, and Eminem was voted Favorite Male Hip Hop Artist.
So a lot of these artists getting their flowers years later, getting recognized still yet.
I mean, still got it. I mean, Eminem, and you get Janet Jackson.
Oh my goodness.
You know, Rod Stewart all on the stage. Yeah, good stuff. Good mix of different generations.
Yes.
Last night. Yeah.
Still shining. Well, let's check in with Savannah. What you got in store for us?
Well, unfortunately, we are going to see showers, but at least they held off until after Memorial Day. Just spotty across Dane County right now. And for the most part, we've got one stray shower kind of north of Given Sun Prairie, a little bit more widespread up near Viroqua. But this morning into the afternoon, even this evening, I don't think they're going to be widespread. That'll be the case, though, as the low pressure tracks closer to us, and then overnight into early Wednesday morning. That's when I think we're going to be dealing with a little bit more of widespread showers. This is about 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and that will last off and on through the day. There will be pockets of heavier showers, maybe a rumble of thunder after we see about 70 this afternoon. We're down into the lower 60s tomorrow. It's not going to last that long. The rest of Thursday after the early morning looks good. We'll see some sunshine return and much warmer temperatures. During that time frame this afternoon into the evening, we will see breezy conditions. Winds out of the east, not super bad, but we will have gusts range between 20 and 25 miles per hour before they die down a little bit more, and that's mainly after the low moves away from us. How much rain are we expecting, though, from the rain overnight and then through Thursday morning? Probably only a couple of hundredths, maybe a tenth or 2 tenths. I think it's more likely that areas pick up a quarter to half an inch, mainly west of Madison. That'll be now through Thursday early morning, and then we dry up. Can't rule out a couple of showers with peak heating of the day on Friday and Saturday to follow that. Minimal rain chances, though, and then Sunday into early next week, the weather pattern is going to be a lot better. We're going to be dry and then also much warmer, so we will have some lake days in the near future. It'll definitely be a lot warmer heading into this upcoming weekend than what we just had Memorial Day weekend. We'll be pushing about 80 degrees Saturday and Sunday. It's likely that some of us do reach that. Monday and Tuesday to follow that, more likely that everyone across southern Wisconsin sees that. So make sure you get out and about, because we do look to be in an active pattern then heading into about mid to late week next week after that with falling temperatures, but that's still going to be above average for the first full week of June.
It was was the perfect day outside for baseball to be back in Madison yesterday. The Mallards opened their 25th season of action yesterday afternoon, and if you know the Mallards, that means they were going to debut some cool new things, such as this brand new zip line that delivers beer. How about that? As for the team, it took a few innings, but eventually they got the swing of things in the fourth. MJ Sweeney swats a liner past a diving dock spider as the Mallards' first hit of the season comes at a crucial time because later in the frame, with the bases loaded, Fond du Lac would issue back-to-back walks, giving the Mallards a couple of free runs in a way that you just don't see too often as they win the opener 6-1, the final score. And down to AmFam Field, where Jordan Love threw out the first pitch, and Jackson Chorio on the first pitch that the Brewers saw on the day hit it way out of the ballpark. The second-year stud says Yahtzee and gives the crew a first-inning lead that they would never give back to the Red Sox, as the Brewers take the series opener over the Bo Sox 3-2. And in case you missed it, Whitewater Baseball is headed back to the Division III College Baseball World Series. The Warhawks will play Trinity, a school in Texas, to open play on Friday. Last year, Whitewater was also in the World Series and finished as the national runner-up. To the Junior College World Series, the Division II version, Madison College continues to crush it. They won each of their first two games in the double elimination national tournament and are off to the quarterfinals, where they will play Pasco Hernando College later on this afternoon. Packer fans got to see their first look at their first round wide receiver in person wearing the green and gold last week. Even if it wasn't in a Packers jersey, the green and gold still looks good on Matthew Golden. The speedster out of Texas joined Jordan Love at the 25th annual Green Bay charity softball game. Golden said it was a no-brainer to attend, and Love says it was a no-brainer that the team selected him.
You know, it's a blessing, you know, just to be able to be around people that care about you and, you know, can see you. So for me, it's just being able to show my face and, you know, show that I love being here. You know, I'm ready to put my best foot forward and go out there and play ball.
I'm excited to see just his potential on the football field, but just the start we've had, doing routes on air and things like that. You know, he looks like a stud, looks like a very polished receiver. So I'm excited to see, you know, just how far he can take it. The speed speaks for itself, you know, running a 40-yard dash, and anytime you get a 4.2, you know, that's some blazing speed right there.
That's your morning sports fix. Have a tip-top Tuesday.
Well, still ahead, the new app to help out in the kitchen, and competitors go to extreme lengths to chase some cheese.
Coming up in our next half hour, a very special birthday for a Pigeon Falls veteran. Why he's still loving life.
And before we head to break, here's a look at gas prices. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This photo is from Gwen. She says, "Itsy bitsy spider."
Charlotte's Web vibes this morning.
Yeah, it's got the sun shining right on it, getting us all the glimpses. Gwen, thank you so much. Keep sending those photos. Hashtag MyNews3Morning.
Well, trending this morning, the winners of what could be the most dangerous race are celebrating their victories. Check out these pictures. Competitors falling down an absurdly steep hill participating in the Cooper's Hill cheese rolling competition in England. To win, you have to go down a 200-yard dash on a grassy hill, running after a wheel of I'm going to mess it up again, Gloucester cheese. It is as ridiculous as it sounds, but it's a tradition that dates back to the 1800s. So doesn't this look like fun?
We got anything like this in Wisconsin?
We should.
I mean, it's like the cheese.
You know, we don't mess around with our cheese, but we're not. You know.
Think we're diving for it? Probably not.
I think the winner should be the one that doesn't fall and completes the race.
There you go. Yeah, you should be healthy enough to eat the cheese after you finish.
Exactly.
Check this out. A 16-year-old from Central Iowa launching a new app to help people in the kitchen. Nash Rowe, a former kids baking champion, created Pesto. It's an AI-powered app that answers any cooking questions, baking questions, all judgment-free. Rose says that he built Pesto to help kids and beginners Learn kitchen basics from washing dishes to reading recipes. The free app only answers kitchen-related questions, and Row hopes to add some more recipes and chat features by early summer.
Very cool. Starting them young can help them out in the kitchen.
Yeah, usually just ask Google.
Yes.
Now you have a platform to use.
Exactly.
All right, weather trivia question has to deal with the tornado that hit the tri-state, not the tri-state area, but what 3 states made up the tri-state tornado? Is it Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, or Missouri, Illinois, Indiana?
The tri-state tornado. Ooh. Kyron, what do you got?
Let's see.
You want to see?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, I'm going to say...
it was my second guess, so I don't know why I second guessed myself, so let's see.
D.
It is
Yes!
Missouri, Illinois, Indiana in 1925.
I second guess it.
Okay. Been 100 years.
Yeah, hey, we're back in the latest on the Meritor strike right after this. This morning, police investigating another shooting at an apartment on Madison's east side. What we know so far.
Plus, about 1,000 nurses are about to strike this morning. What this could mean for your next hospital visit.
Still doing it, and I'm still along, enjoying life.
And the saying, age is just a number, more than true for this Wisconsin man. His secret to living to 108. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee alongside meteorologist Savannah Brito. Lots to get to this morning, but first we're going to get a check in on the weather. Things have been looking good over the weekend.
Hard to beat, really comfortable temperatures and everything, but we've got some rain to track over the next few days and some warmth ahead.
Yeah, we just got a brief cool down, but we are tracking some showers now basically until Thursday morning, and then much warmer temperatures, even warmer than what we see right now, 52 at the airport. We do have a lot of cloud cover out there and a few spotty showers, but for the most part, that's kind of near Viroqua and just north of the city of Madison. But everyone across the state waking up to pretty decent temperatures, 52 in Stevens Point, 49 in Sheboygan, 51 this morning in Boscobel. Everyone will see temperatures reach right about 70. Most of us the upper 60s later today, so temperatures will be similar to yesterday. But yeah, we've got scattered showers that we're going to see. I think there'll be more widespread overnight into early Wednesday morning. We'll time that out and talk about how much we could see over the next about 48 hours coming up.
Savannah, thank you. Let's take a look now. Happening right now, about 1,000 nurses at Meritor are beginning their strike. The move comes after contract talks with SEIU broke down. Meritor's Vice President of Human Resources tells News 3 Now that SEIU canceled a bargaining session yesterday, but the union denies that.
All right, again, this is a live shot of Meritor nurses outside of Meritor's main location on South Park Street. About 1,000, like you said, ready to walk off the job today because they can't come to terms with the hospital. Nurses say the hospital's latest offer does not address their concerns about safety, staffing, or burnout. Hospital officials say that they are prepared to operate without these striking nurses. They have some contracted traveling nurses that are going to be on this week if the strike goes through, and other staff are going to stay on as well. They say that patients arriving today, though, if you have an appointment at Meritor today or anytime in the near future, you should allow for some extra time for parking and possible entrance delays. The next scheduled bargaining session is coming up on Thursday. Ahead of the strike, SEIU does plan to hold a news conference with state Democrats. We're hearing from our photographer there on the scene that that's going to happen at about 7:30 this morning.
Okay, you can take a look at some of those signs and, talking about that safe staffing. So we're going to continue to follow this, but you can get the latest updates on this story sent straight to your phone with the Channel 3000 News app. With the app, you'll receive breaking news push alerts as soon as they happen. It's free to download. Just search Channel 3000 in your phone's app store.
Police are investigating after finding a 6-year-old with a gunshot wound on Madison's east side.
The shooting happened just before 10 a.m. yesterday at Harmony Apartments. First responders took the child to the hospital for further evaluation. Police say this appears to be an isolated incident.
It's the second shooting at Harmony Apartments this year. A person was shot in March inside of one of the units. The city declared the Harmony Apartments a public nuisance April of 2020, only about a year after it opened. It came after several acts of violence there, including a 4-year-old who was shot in the foot. Happening today, the man accused of killing and dismembering a Milwaukee woman will be in court. 19-year-old Sadie Robinson disappeared April of last year. She'd been on a first date, police say, with 34-year-old Maxwell Anderson at the time. The following day, a hiker found some of her remains in a city park. Police later found her car torched in Milwaukee, and then more of Robinson's remains were found along a shore in southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois. GPS data, investigators say, tracked Robinson back to Anderson's South Side home. He now faces charges including murder and dismembering Robinson's body.
In national news, President Donald Trump is continuing to target Harvard University. Trump is now threatening to divert $3 billion in federal grant money from Harvard to trade schools. It's still unclear how the president would make that happen. The White House and Harvard remain locked in a legal battle after the Trump administration froze billions in funding, accusing the university of not doing enough to address anti-Semitism on campus. Harvard has not yet responded to requests for comment.
Taking a look at the stock market this morning, overnight trading is popping. The Dow future up 511 points at this hour. S&P futures up 78 points. NASDAQ futures looking strong, up 305 points. It all comes after the holiday weekend when President Trump said that he was going to push back that 50% levy on the EU. That deadline has been pushed now to July 9th.
3 more of the inmates who escaped custody in New Orleans are back in custody. Officials detained 1 inmate in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, near a department store. 2 other escaped inmates were caught in Texas. Now, only 2 escapees remain. They are considered to be armed and dangerous. Authorities say 10 inmates broke out earlier this month after reportedly using hair trimmers to cut through cell walls. 7 people have been arrested for helping the inmates.
In health news this morning, are you comfortable setting boundaries with your loved ones? Experts say doing so can not only help you handle and reduce stress, it could also lead to healthier relationships. However, it's not always easy, and it can be downright uncomfortable. Licensed therapist Jody Baumstein with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says to set healthy boundaries, start by reflecting on your own needs and limits. Don't compare yourself to others, and align your actions with what's right for you, and communicate your boundaries clearly and assertively.
This is hard for a lot of us, but we want to remember that no can be a full sentence. You don't need to explain it. You don't need to justify it. This is about protecting your own mental well-being and protecting relationships that you have with other people.
Baumstein says to be consistent with those boundaries too. She says that will reinforce those lines drawn and help people understand that they're there.
When your alarm goes off, your first instinct might be to hit the snooze button. I know mine is. But a new study says that habit could actually cost you sleep. The study says on average, people who hit snooze spend an extra 11 minutes in bed after their first alarm. But researchers say those extra minutes aren't quality sleep, and over a month that can add up to a full night's worth of lost rest. So how can you break the snooze habit? Set your first alarm as late as possible, and don't change your bedtime by more than 30 minutes per night, even on the weekends.
You just get some little kids, they'll come wake you up.
Oh, yeah. But maybe not at 3 a.m., though.
Yeah, that's definitely not. Doctors are looking into whether popular weight loss drugs could help prevent cancer. A study by the American Society of Clinical Oncology shows that because obesity is linked to certain cancers. Meanwhile, people with diabetes who take drugs like Wegovy, Ozempic, or Zepbound have a 7% lower risk of cancer and an 8% lower risk of death.
One Wisconsin man and World War II veteran recently celebrated a milestone birthday. He turned 108 years old. Alani Claudio has more.
I'll tell you, people are surprised how old I've gotten to be, but so am I.
The old saying, age is just a number, is more than true for Reynolds Tomter. The Western Wisconsin native and merchant marine veteran says he's surprised to still be plugging away, and has been for a while.
When I sat down at home that evening at 100, I thought, my God, I'm 100 years old. That's awful.
But still, he persists.
I'm still doing it, and I'm still along, enjoying life.
Every year, I think it's another gift.
For Reynolds, it's a gift of life. But for family and friends, it's a gift of more time with someone they look up to.
I don't say a bad word about anyone. Nicest guy. He's a sweetheart. A lot of words of wisdom come from his mouth.
and maybe even the secret to making it to 108.
I've been drinking coffee for 106 years. Black coffee for 106 years. Still going.
Reynolds, at 108 years old, still talks about his days in the service. And even though he didn't physically fight, his work was a helping hand to those who did.
Towards the bottom of the ship, working day after day, all day long, making bread, cake, cookies, desserts. So that was my job for the crew.
After returning to America, his family was happy to have him back and later be present in his children, grandchildren, and now great-grandchildren's lives.
It's hard to capture, really, the impact that he's had and what he has seen in his life, if you think about how much the world has changed. But to me, he's always just been my grandpa.
Beth Warner says her grandpa has been a legendary figure for his family and community.
His engagement and the love he gives to others, this is the way people repay him for that. They want him to know that they care about him and they want to celebrate him.
And I think many can say they got the job done. In Pigeon Falls, Alani Claudio, WEAU 13 News.
What an amazing milestone, 108, still very sharp. Wow.
Yeah, 106 years of black coffee.
Yes, so that
Love
means,
that.
like I said, you got some years ahead with your black coffee.
Feeling good this morning.
Yeah, I was like, you're probably feeling real energized.
Thank you for your service, sir. Happy birthday. Make it a great one.
Yes.
What an inspiration.
Well, let's check in with Savannah. What's coming up?
Well, guys, we're finally getting into a warmer temperature pattern overall as we head into the first week or 2 weeks of June, but we do have a brief cool down to detail first.
Yeah, also ahead, we're going to check back in on that strike at Meriter Hospital this morning and talk about maybe your next trip. If it's into an all-inclusive resort, we'll tell you what could be changing.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Back out live to Meriter Hospital in Madison, where 1,000 nurses are now on strike after that 6:30 a.m. deadline has come and gone. The move comes after contract negotiations between SEIU, the union, and the hospital broke down. Meriter's Vice President of Human Resources tells News 3 Now that SEIU canceled a bargaining session that was scheduled for yesterday. The union, though, denies that.
Hospital officials say they are prepared to operate without the striking nurses out there right now. They say patients arriving today should allow extra time for parking and possible entrance delays. The next scheduled bargaining session is set for Thursday, but SEIU plans to hold a press conference with state Democrats. We're told that this press conference is to take place around 7:30 this morning. Again, they're out there, about 1,000 nurses walking off the job this morning.
Yeah, we'll keep our presence there, of course, throughout the morning as things develop. We'll keep checking back in. So keep it here through our cut-ins after News 3 Now this morning ends at 7 o'clock. You can stream it on Channel 3000 Plus, channel3000.com. And then we'll stay with it. We'll have more extensive coverage coming up on News 3 Now at noon, 4, 5, 6, and 10, of course.
But for now, we're going to check in with meteorologist Vanna Brito, who's getting you prepared as you're headed out the door. How are things looking?
Not too bad as far as temperatures go this morning, guys. We're at 52 in Madison, 55 in Watertown, 52 in Wisconsin Dells, and 54 in Monroe. So we're actually pretty mild, about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. But we're dealing with a couple of shower chances, and that's really going to linger through most of the day today, and breezy conditions. Winds right now are not an issue. A lot of cloud cover. Winds are calm between about 5 and 10 miles per hour, but those are going to gust later today about 20 to 25 miles per hour. And we'll see a high just shy of 70. Just a few very, very spotty showers across Dane County. They're more widespread up near Viroqua, near Decorah, Iowa, and also just near Dundee, south of Dubuque. But we are going to see these much more widespread once we get to tonight into early Wednesday morning. So a few showers can't be ruled out now through about lunchtime. As we head closer to dinner time, most of those are going to be northwest of Madison. And then the widespread showers, that coming through after midnight into early Wednesday morning. With the low, all of these are going to spin behind it and continue through most of the day Wednesday. Once we get closer to Thursday morning and daybreak, that's when shower chances are going to decrease. We'll actually warm back up Thursday into Friday. How much rain are we going to expect? A couple hundredth, maybe up to a tenth or 2/10 at the most for most of southern Wisconsin. A couple spots, though, mainly west and northwest of Madison, could pick up about a quarter up to half an inch. So not a lot of rainfall is expected, not enough to make a dent in our drought update or drought monitor update as well. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, as we get closer to the weekend, that's when temperatures will warm closer to where we should be in the lower to mid 70s. And then Friday and Saturday even got highs that are forecast to reach the upper 70s. I think roughly that's how our pattern's going to stay the next several days. After that, even into early next week and midweek next week is when it looks to turn a little bit more active. But yeah, I think we'll be pushing about 80. Some spots will top out at that over the weekend. I just think it's more likely as we head into early next week, guys.
Okay, look at that. Finally getting those 80s.
Yes, finally returning to our forecast.
All right. Hey, if you want to send us a plan your day video, we'd love to see it. Savannah will give you a customized forecast to get you going. All you have to do is record a video, say your name, where you're at, say a little something to make us laugh. We'd love it. Then post it to the website, Facebook Messenger app, all sorts of different ways to get it to us, and then watch to see if you make it on the air.
Hotel brands around the world are increasingly focusing on all-inclusive resorts. The model is changing in terms of dining and room choices at some hotels. Others focus on offering a more boutique experience. CBS News' Wendy Gillette reports on the evolution of all-inclusive in today's Travel Tuesday.
An island vibe is part of what brought North Carolina residents Morgan McLeod and husband Dylan Plantage to Sandals Dunn's River in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. The resort right near the country's popular Dunn's River Falls is what the company calls Sandals 2.0 as it rolls out new room types with sky pools and roof terraces and a rum bar.
I think we see a pretty big difference compared to some of the older resorts that we've been to. This seems very much more detail-oriented, kind of higher end.
The resort, one of those we stayed at for a special rate, keeps familiar Sandals elements like swim-up bars, but adds more choices, including restaurant options.
We took all the data from our travel partners, our returning guests, and everybody, and we say, okay, let's reset it.
The restaurant scene at All Inclusives is also shifting here in Mexico at Gran Velas Riviera Maya, where this restaurant is the first all-inclusive in the world to snag a AAA 5-Diamond Award, also honored with a Michelin star last year.
Under the watchful eye of executive chef Nayum Velasco, the kitchen at Cocina de Autor produces a seasonal 8-course tasting menu.
My inspiration comes mainly from my environment, my surroundings.
Gran Velas offers guests a 2-floor spa with locally inspired treatments and rooms with plunge pools and ocean views, but the food is a primary focus.
People want to get more value from what they're spending.
Value is also key for a new Hyatt brand called Vivid, with its Grand Island Hotel about 40 miles north in Cancun. The Hopping Beach Club shows off a casual, active vibe, catering to Gen Zs and millennials.
The younger generation is traveling way more than in the past, and that they are very interested in exploring the all-inclusive space.
A private boat transfer takes guests to Marriott's much quieter El Mare on the low-key island of Isla Mujeres.
I like to say Marriott's all in on all-inclusive. It is a big play for us.
El Mare serves up plenty of play, like tequila tastings, overwater yoga classes, and a Zen spa to design your own island retreat. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Coming up in the morning sprint, more from the Meriter nurses strike happening now.
If you have a little kiddo turning 3 soon, send us a picture. We'll show it on TV. The sprint is next. Time for the morning sprint.
Happening right now, a strike is underway outside Unity Point Health Meriter Hospital. This is a live look right now. About 1,000 nurses are expected to be out there right now. This comes after the hospital failed to make a deal with SEIU. Just into the newsroom, a Meritor spokesperson sent a statement saying, quote, "Our thoughtful preparations have paid off and we have had a successful morning. Our visiting nurses were onboarded over the holiday weekend and arrived at the hospital safely early this morning. They have transitioned smoothly into patient care with cooperation of our team members and the nursing management team. The entire team at Meritor has stepped up to prepare for this moment, and their hard work and attention to detail is evident. Meritor continues to provide the high quality care and experience you expect." Now, these negotiations are set to resume on Thursday.
Police are investigating after a 6-year-old was shot on Madison's east side. It happened just before 10 o'clock in the morning yesterday at the Harmony Apartments. Officers say the child was taken to the hospital for further medical evaluation. Police believe it is an isolated incident, though this is the second shooting at the apartment complex this year. The city declared Harmony Apartments a public nuisance in 2020 after several acts of violence.
New this morning, police are investigating reports of gunfire that left 2 men injured. Officers responded to Kennedy Heights on Madison's northeast side. They found a 36-year-old man and a 28-year-old man, both with gunshot wounds. First responders treated one man at the scene. He did not require further medical attention. Paramedics took the other man to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police believe this was an isolated incident.
Stocks are up this morning. Dow futures are up 574 points, or 1.3%. S&P futures are up about 1.5%. NASDAQ futures up more than 1.5%. It comes after President Trump pushed back the 50% levy deadline on the EU to July 9th.
The man accused of murdering and dismembering 19-year-old Sade Robinson is set to appear in court. Robinson vanished after a date with 34-year-old Maxwell Anderson last April. Her remains were discovered in a park and along shores in Wisconsin and Illinois. Police tracked her to Anderson's home using GPS. Anderson faces multiple charges, including murder.
Well, temperatures will still be in the upper 60s this afternoon, but we will see some showers. I don't think they'll be widespread until tonight into tomorrow. Then after that, we've got a beautiful stretch of weather into the weekend. Could be pushing the 80-degree mark with some sunshine.
All right, looking forward to it.
Me too.
Savannah, thank you.
All right, we'll go back out to the Unity Point Health Meritor nurses strike on Park Street here in Madison. Our coverage will continue when we check in 30 minutes.